premise, everything we have is given to us by God. I was meditating on something this morning that everyone has a gift. I was actually sharing something with Aya, with my son, and I was sharing something. I said, do you know that he plays football, and that's why he's not here. He's gone to football. And I said, do you know why I told him about one of his friends, and I said, do you know why your friend can't play football like you play? And he said, I said, no, I'm not saying this in a bad way, in a good way. Why do you think he can? And he said, I said, I don't know. Okay, I told him, I said, look, he doesn't have the gift that you have. This is a gift from God to you. And I said, everyone has a gift. Everyone has different gifts. And I was saying to him, it's so important that you acknowledge God with the gift that you have. Always, never forget that you can do this because God gave it to you. So always honor God with it. Always acknowledge God with it. And when you have any problem, always go to God with it. Because God gave it to you. He knows how you can maximize it. He knows how you can increase it. And I said, listen to this. Everyone has a gift. So we almost do learn to acknowledge God with the gift He's given to us. Nobody doesn't have a gift. Everybody has a gift. Now listen to this. More than that, everything we have in our life, the gift is given to us, the life is given to us, the income we have, everything we have. The Bible says some of it we're to use in worshiping God. So that's what we do when we're offering to God. What we do, we're presenting what He's given to us, and we're saying we're taking it by choice, and we're saying we're offering it to you, and we're worshiping you with it. So it's a hard matter. It says we use some of what we have to use some of them in worshiping the Lord our God. And the same thing applies to us. What we have to use in worshiping God. What the Lord has given to us, we have to use to worship Him. And it says, until we get there, we will not know what we're to use in worshiping God. What He's saying is this: God can demand anything from us. We must come to the place where we're willing to give to Him whatever He demands of us. So it's part of our relationship with God. So we worship God with our offerings. We worship Him with our gifts. We worship Him with our giving, our time, everything. We worship Him. That's what we're doing here now. It's part of our worship. We're giving something to Him out of what He's given to us. We worship Him with our skills, with our talent. It's a way of acknowledging God and saying, God, everything I am, everything I have comes from you. And I acknowledge you and I honor you with it. The money I have, the income I have, the increase I have, everything comes from you. And I worship you with it. Let's look at Exodus chapter 20 as well. We also looked at that. Exodus chapter 20, verse 24. One thing this message has done to me is this. It has helped me to see my offering in a different light. It has helped me to see everything I do for God in a different light. To know that it's not just something I have to do because it's a choice I make, but more than that, it's my worship to God. It's me honoring God. So I want to do it out of joy. I want to do it out of a personal conviction, not because somebody's telling me to do it. There's nothing wrong if somebody tells me to do it, but I need to have an understanding of myself so I can go on doing it with joy and with excitement, knowing that is part of my worship to God. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 24. It says, make an altar of earth for me and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goat and your cattle, wherever I cause my name to be honored. It says, and I will come and bless you. Now this shows God's intention in honoring Him. He was saying to His children, listen, come. And this is in the Old Testament. God will command them and say, come, dedicate a day and let it be days and feasts, at times when you just come to God's presence at a place dedicated for God. And they would come and said, when they're coming, God says, bring your offerings, bring your sacrifices. Then they will bring the produce of the earth, the cattle, their goats, and everything they had, their golds and their silver. And God is saying, when they come and do what? Come to the place that I've designated. He says, when you get there, I will come there and I will bless you. That's so powerful. It says, I will come there and I will bless you. Look at this. It's so wonderful to know that. Listen to this. God is saying, bring an offering to me, worship me with it. But listen to this. He's also saying to them, the reason why I want you to bring an offering is because I want to increase you. It's because I want to be able to pour my goodness on you. I want to be able to pour my blessing on you. And he actually said it to them. He said, come to me, bring your offering, I will come there and I will bless you. So it was a point for them to do what? To experience his healing, to experience peace in their family. You know, whatever trouble they've gone through, it was a time for them to look up to God and say, yeah, you know what? We're going to worship God and we're taking our offering. So what they would do is they would get their best cattle. They would prepare an offering for God. They would intentionally do that because they knew that they were going to honor God. More than that, God had said what? I will come there and I will bless you. This is God speaking to us. That when we come to God and we're offering God our time, we're offering God our money, we're offering God our resources, whatever God has given to us, He says, I will come there and I will bless you. That is so good. What that should do to us, it should give us an understanding of what wants to do here. God is not saying, I want to take from you. No. He's saying it's an opportunity for me to add to you. It's an opportunity for me to mend you, to heal you, to make you whole, to increase you, to take out of what I have and give to you. No, it's not God taking from us. It's God giving to us. It's saying, I will come there and I will bless you. So every time I bring my offering to God, I should know that what God has said, what? I'll meet you there. I'll be there. And listen to this. You can expect me to bless you. You can expect me to increase you. You can expect me to heal your broken heart. You can expect me to transform your life. You can expect me to do great things in your life. You can expect me to do what you can't do for yourself. Listen to this, it's such a wonderful thing God has given to us here. But let's get an understanding out of this. Let's not do this with a lack of understanding. Let's do this with understanding and wisdom. Listen to this. This is what God has said, and we're convinced that God would never lie to us. I want you to say this. I'm convinced. Oh, come on. Say it like you're convinced. I am convinced that God would never lie to me. So as we worship Him with our offering, as we worship Him with our seeds, what does He do? He blesses us. As we worship Him with what we have, what does He do? He blesses us. So never let anyone take your focus away from God when you're giving anything to God. Don't let that happen to you. Never let anyone take your focus away from God when you're worshiping Him with your offering, when you're giving something to Him, whatever you've chosen to give to God. No, it's out of a relationship you have with God. And listen to this. God has said, I'll come there and I will bless you. So we worship and honor God with our offerings. And what do? It's part of our... Listen to this. There is no worship without giving. There is no worship. There is no love without giving. And that's why the first thing God did for us was this. He gave us His Son. And listen to this. There is no way you can love Him without giving Him. You have to give Him your obedience. You have to give Him your time. You have to give Him your sincerity. You have to give Him your honesty. You have to give Him your patience, your joy. You know, sometimes you're doing something for God and your attitude is just wrong. And you know in your heart, God is saying, no, I'm not taking that. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. How would you like for someone to say, you know what, I bought you a gift. I got you a gift, you know. and you're expecting the person to give you the gift, and it says, look at that, it's a very expensive gift, and that's it. It doesn't matter what the gift is. You feel despised. You don't want someone to give you anything anyway. Am I right? Now it's the same thing with God. It's saying, worship me with it, value me with it, give it to me like I matter to you. Don't give me complaining, grumbling, don't give me, don't give me complaining when you're sad and no, do it nicely. Do it nicely. Because you don't have to do it. You're doing it because you want to. So when you do it well. That's why God first did what? He showed us He loved us and gave Jesus, gave us His best. But He didn't do complaining. No. It was difficult, but He still did it. So sometimes what we do will be a sacrifice. Yeah, it will be painful sometimes, but listen to this, we can still do it with joy because we know what will come out of it. The Bible says because of the joy of what Jesus knew would come out of it, you and I will be delivered from the kingdom of darkness. He went ahead and went through the pain and did it. Sacrificed. It was painful. The Bible says because of the grief and the pain of being separated from God, even for a while, Jesus Christ cringed about that. It was painful to be separated from God. But He still did it because He loved us. So whatever you do for God, do it with joy. We'll get into that in a minute. But He's saying what? He says, let this be an offering that comes from you with a willing heart. Let's go on here. So we know that our offering is what? Is we giving out of what we have and worshiping God with it. And the Bible says we also saw last week that what do we give towards? We give towards God's work, whatever God's work is. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's a project, it's the house of the Lord. Whatever God wants to do, we give towards it so that God's work, God can do what He intends to do. Sometimes it's somebody who is in pain and give towards that. That's God doing that. That's God using you to do what? To continue what He wants to do. To continue what He wants to do. Whatever God lays on your heart to do, you do it. I remember quite a while ago, I think this must have been well over 15 years ago. I remember I was doing my youth service in Nigeria, and I went to because I had to go to the bank to collect my allowance. So I went to the bank and I collected my allowance, and it was just funny. As I collected, I just asked the question. I said, God, what do you want me to do? And I just asked it, God, what would you want me to do for you? And I just felt, well, I just asked the question. So I just went my way thinking, well, God, you tell me what you. So I just felt like going into a bookshop. There was a bookshop right opposite the bank, or the other side of the bank. So I went into the bookshop. So immediately I went to the bookshop, I saw a friend, a pastor. He was the pastor of a church in the place where I was teaching in the school. The church was just next to the school. So I saw him. So I was excited. I went to see because I knew him. He would invite me to his house, have dinner with his family and all that. So I went to say hello to him, and he said, how are you doing? And he said, yeah, I was just looking at a few books here. So I went to him. I just felt led to give him some of the money I had. So I gave him some of the money, and he said thank you to me, shook my hand, and I left. So when I went back to the place where I was serving, I saw him like 2 or 3 weeks after. So he called me and said, you don't know what you did. Let me tell you what you did. He had been posted to another place to pastor another church. Now that place where he was posted to was a smaller church. They didn't have enough money to take care of him. So he said that day he just needed to go back to his family. But when he got to the bookshop, his money had finished. There was no way he could move from where he was. So he just said, I'll just go into this bookshop and look around and see what God will do. He said, I was stuck in the bookshop. He says, so when you came to me and you blessed me, that was the only way I could get home. And out of what you've given to me, I was able to get home and give something to my family. I looked at him and said, there was no way I could have known that. Now, why am I sharing that with you? Not for you to make you think, oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying that sometimes God used you